Space is the largest, most giganticest thing that you can never conceive the size of. It is infinite. It goes on forever and will always keep expanding. The real question is, of course, how did this all start? Well, we don't know exactly what the universe was before it was, well, the universe. But we do know that one day, whatever it was started expanding, and fast. We all call that the Big Bang, and the gravitational waves that resulted from it were just recently heard by scientists in the South Pole on March 14th. The reason everything that exists is because of the Big Bang. Now, some of the most important things to us in the universe are planets, since the Earth is one, and stars, since we revolve around one. All the stars in the universe, including our own, started out as a nebula, a big cloud of hydrogen where all stars are born. Eventually, enough hydrogen is compressed to form a protostar. There is enough pressure put on the protostar to raise its temperature, but not enough to start fusion. Soon the star will gain enough mass for gravity to compress the protostar even more, giving it enough kinetic energy to start fusing elements. Fusion is when there is so much energy put on hydrogen atoms that they will start to fuse and create helium, and in that fusion enough energy is put out to fight back against gravity. This form of star is a main sequence star, which is the same kind of star as our own sun. Once all the hydrogen is used up there, and there is only helium and trace metals left, the star will no longer have the energy to fuse more complex elements, just like I lost the energy to finish my project. But, just like my procrastination, the star receives more pressure from gravity, and then gains the energy to fuse hydrogen and grow bigger. Stars with less mass become red giants, while stars with more mass become red supergiants. After a red giant fuses all the elements it can, it will discard its outer layer, leaving behind a smaller, hotter star as well as a planetary nebula. The star will eventually collapse into a white dwarf. This star is 1/1,000,000th the size of the original star, and 20,000 degrees Celsius. It will slowly cool down, and then it will form a brown dwarf, or a black dwarf in some circles. The red supergiant will fuse elements all the way to iron, and then it will supernova. The core that is left of the supergiant can be compressed to form a rotating neutron star. If the supergiant was especially massive, the remnants from the supernova can be compressed even more so, and create something so massive that its gravity alone makes it the most dangerous known thing in the universe. The planets in our solar system started out as a nebula as well. That nebula began to collapse, spin, and flatten out. The dust that makes up the rotating disk starts to accrete. These accreted particles developed into full planets in the making. They developed into full planets in the making, just bunches of minerals and magma from impact of other particles. All of these developing planets did not have a direct path or orbit around the sun, and drifted around each other, sometimes even colliding. This is one of the situations that created the moon. This violent drifting time is known as the Titanomachy. Eventually, the planets all cooled down and became the planets we know today. The 4 planets closest to the sun have a rocky surface and a hot inner core. These are terrestrial planets. The outer 4 gas giants, even though Pluto is absolutely, definitely, positively a planet, are the Jovian planets, and they have a core of ice and rock with a gaseous exterior.